right, let's jump right back in with our first caller of the night, and that call comes from Paul. Paul, what is your question this evening?
I went to rehab. I had back surgery, so they sent me to rehab. And while I was I slipped and fell in the shower on my left knee. And I've been having trouble out ever since then. They did everything possible they can do was trying to find. So first they said they couldn't find anything wrong with it. So they did MRI, X-rays, everything. So now he's still giving me trouble. So my orthopedic surgeon said now he's going to go in and do arthroscopic surgery on there to find out what's going on. It might be something going inside the knee. But I wonder if I have some kind of claim because I did fall in the shower while I was in rehab.
Well, thank you so much for your call. What's your advice for Paul?
Well, it really depends, Paul, on what caused the initial back injury. And I'm sorry to hear you. It sounds like you had a really rough go of things here lately. But if it was a car wreck or something like that, then generally the first incident that starts kind of the chain of dominoes would be the cause of something that happens later, unless so much time goes on that what's called like an intervening cause, that there's another reason why you got hurt. Harry, if somebody slips in the shower, do they normally have a premises liability claim? Or if they're at a hospital or rehab facility, is it a medical malpractice case? I think this is something we kind of struggle with sometimes.
Yeah, so you have to look at these cases on a fact by fact basis. They could be, if you're in a medical facility and you slip and fall in the shower, it could be med-mal related, especially if you're supposed to, there's orders to, be assisted, something like that. But I've had people visiting someone in a hospital and they get that would not be a medical malpractice case because they're not the ones receiving the treatment there. And they would have a fall.
Would it be a defense for, say, the facility that if you're in the shower it's going to be wet? I mean, you could still bring a claim, but it might be a good defense in a case like that.
Yeah, on the shower cases I've had, a lot of it's open and obvious where they just say, everyone knows that a shower is slippery. I've had them in like casino type cases where someone is a guest and they don't themselves put down that little mat that they can put in the shower, things like that. But there's some that I've been successful on. It kind of just all depends. We had one where the shower, where the water comes out of the head, the way it was constructed caused water to come out of when the door's closed. It's supposed to keep the water in. It was like a defect in it, and the water was able to leak down to the floor. Well, a person couldn't have expected that.
Yes.
So that's a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, all I'll say is this. Some people don't particularly like slip and fall cases. Harry does them exclusively for the firm, and he's got a lot of experience doing them. But somebody that really falls with a hidden danger through no fault of their own, Harry, that can cause catastrophic injury. I've seen broken bones, disc herniations, surgeries. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, sometimes someone has a fall, you might think, well, they just had a little fall in the store, it wasn't that bad, but the person who goes through it can have catastrophic injuries. Like Rocky said, there's people with spinal cord stimulators walking around from falls. I had a case yesterday that I was on the coast. It was a bowling alley case having to do with oil on the lane. The man's knee is shredded. I mean, he's permanent injuries for the rest of his life.
Not to mention the embarrassment. I think a lot of people that fall at a public store, they want to leave the store because they want to get out of there as soon as they can and don't report it, and that is a mistake.
Hurts their cases, or they don't get names of witnesses without an incident report or witnesses that can verify what happened. Your cases could be ruined.
I'm fine, even if you're there.
Yeah, just trying to get out, or you're in shock and it hadn't hit you yet, and you just want to go home. Then you get home and you can't move. So important to report it to the store.
Plus, you want to make sure that they retain video if they have video, and if you don't report it right away and some time goes by, you can maybe hurt and you say, you know what, it's been a week, I'm going to go back, and then their defense at that point is, well, no one made a claim, we didn't know to save the video, it just taped over itself. Now you don't have that evidence as well.
Kill your case.
Yeah. All right, that's great advice.